Okay, are we live? I see a black screen. Now I see the computer. Okay. I hear myself. That's usually a good sign. Alright, let me just wait a minute. Let me just throw this link on the usual social media, and then we will get started with level design. Okay, greetings, Army. Okay. I just popped up on your YouTube feed. Good timing, I guess. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to do before I started? There is one thing, in that I don't believe I can close most of these Windows Explorer windows. I don't believe I actually added the pirate ship and the graveyard and so on and so forth 3D models to the game's project files. And also, there's a couple that I want to delete because I don't know if it'll show up in here. Shut up, phone. I recently did buy Kenny's Asset Forge, which should allow for building slightly larger and more complicated objects out of components more easily than trying to place down individual things like all these bridge tiles. Cliff, block, rock. Those are all like components, aren't they? I think they are. I'm gonna remove those. Ground, grass, ground, path, bend. All of these do not need to path. Do not need all these here, just taking up space. The rocks can stay. Some of these I'm not 100% sure what they are. They can stay just in case. All the trees can stay. Okay. Let's see. First, I should probably, and I don't remember if I did this beforehand, add some of the extra 3D objects. Those can be found in free stuff. Kenny. Did I convert these yet? Doesn't look like I did. I thought I did. Unless I put them somewhere else. I could have sworn that I already converted a bunch of these to vertex buffers. Okay. In that case, I can just do it right here. Is it in this folder? No, those are mostly models resource files. Okay. In that case, I guess I'll start with the graveyard. Please don't break all of a sudden, thank you. Yep, that's all right. I guess I forgot to do this beforehand. Scale 32. Rotate up axis. That looks like the correct scale. Okay, that's like all of those. Export. And I can just put this in. Probably. Which one was this? The graveyard one? Oh, converted. I do have them already. Okay. Don't know how I missed that. Let's see. This can go into the data files of the tower defense game. Hopefully there will not be any naming conflicts. Does everything else have that already? Fantasy Town models. Fantasy Town does not. Alright, we'll get to that when we get to that. Castle Kit? Does not. Nature Kit. That's got the things in a bunch of formats, and the Pirate Kit. Okay. Already has a shovel. That's fine. Probably will not be needing too many shovels. Let's see. Let me run the game just to make sure that nothing explodes. And then we can get down to level design. All right. So if I were to start, I believe the canyon was the last one that I made. Yeah, this was the last level that I made basically. There's still feel like you can back up a little bit more than you should be able to, but maybe that's a problem for some other time. The flower field has not been made yet. So I've got a long-standing obsession with flower fields in video games, as I've mentioned on occasion. Path nodes. First, let me lay out the path. I feel like I might make this a bit of like a ring or a loop-de-loop or something like that. The first couple of maps I designed with the intent of having a bunch of choke points and bottlenecks where the same set of towers could hit the track multiple times, and I've been progressively moving away from that as I continue in the level design, and the later levels should probably be a little bit harder than the earlier ones. I feel like, however, I kind of want some sort of loop-de-loop in this one. Maybe something like what is that? Sort of like a Taurus symbol, something like that. And then there will be a particular bottleneck, choke point, whatever you want to call it over here, and a big ring consisting of most of the rest of the map. So if I were to save this, this would be in the wrong game folder. Game Maker Studio 2, Bombardier. This would be level 5, I believe. And if I were to exit the editor and send in some foes, they would be following the path. They should basically move in a ring. I can speed this up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's see. You know what I think I did in the last stream is I drew the path with like stones beforehand before putting them down on the before putting the nodes down. Anyway, I can deal with that. Let me find the stones first. You know what I should probably do is I should probably be using source control religiously. Those are mostly changes to the 3D objects. The level which has been added is unfortunately that's also going to show up in the change to the YYP. Added and removed some 3D object models. Okay. Where is the stone? It's either stone flat or rock flat or something like that. Stump, stone, tall, stone, small, flat. All right. I will just, nope. I will just view the path nodes. I'll put down a basic layout of the small flat stones and fill it in a little bit more. Something like vaguely following where those things are going. This one could be moved over a little bit. Okay. Flat B, flat C. Are there larger flat ones? I don't remember. You'd think I would remember more of what was in these asset packs after so many weeks of doing this. This is week 50. In some ways it feels longer, and I guess it has been because I have missed a few weeks. In some ways it doesn't feel like nearly that long. Let's see. If I recall, in the other levels I made the path composed of these stones a little bit thicker. If I were to save this, for example, level 5.bug. I also don't know if there are these stones or some of the other ones, like these, the rocky stones with the grass growing on them. Yeah. All right, it's not. I don't think it really is super important which stone designs I use, because as long as it looks like the path, the player will get the point. But maybe for the sake of consistency, I should stick with one. Yeah, this one also had the. Oh, you know, I'm gonna have to. All right, whatever. In some ways, that's perfect, because I can just actually restart this. Oh, you know what I did want to do is I did wanted to implement some sort of Control F so that I could search through quickly to whatever model I'm looking for, so that I don't have to mash the F4 and F5 keys a million times. Rock, rock tall, rock small, rock small, rock small flat. All right. Sort of a flattened, sort of a loop-de shape there, but it will do the job. That's flat A. Flat B, let's scatter some of this down. And then we'll make the path a little bit wider. Do a second pass on this. What are we up to? 55 total things. All right, that's decent amount of things. I forget how many. I want to say the other maps tended to have about 400 or 500 things, and this being so far just the path. That's 77, 78. I'm gonna try not to go above like 100 or so. This is sort of a lot. 86, 88. It helps that these rocks are on the smaller side. They're not a ton of triangles. If I were to sort of trace out the path like this, and then put the end over here. Okay, let me actually save this over whatever I had the last time, and then let's see. What was the? It was like rock tall. One of these. It was some of these that I was using at the start and the end of levels. Okay. I'm just gonna pile on a few of these. I like A and B better. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit more distinctive looking. That's the start of the level. What exactly did I have in some of the other ones? Towards the beginning and the end. Okay, so that was pretty much just what I did. And on the end there was another pile of rocks plus the that's right, there was like some sort of campsite there. Okay, we can quit desktop and restart. We can institute that change. Okay. I wonder if it would be more efficient for me to like go through the other levels and draw the paths first, and then go back and fill them in a little bit more level design wise. Maybe I might think about doing that. Anyway, let me finish up this one in any case. Rock. Should also maybe think about adding something. If I hold down the F4 and F5 buttons, I can fly through the list instead of having to hit the button every single time. Because there are a lot of these stones, and a lot of trees, and a lot of rocks. Rock tall. Are there any others that I was using? Not really. There are 10 different kinds of rock tall. Alright, A and B was most of what it was. Alright, that's the end of the track. There's also the matter of the tent, which should be a little bit past these rocks on this list. Tent, small, closed. Tent, small, open. Rotate. How do I rotate a thing? No, help. Page up and page down is the Z-axis. Alright, that's a campsite. We can also have. Thank you, Riley. We can also have. This is all the way at the other end of the alphabet, which is kind of annoying. The campfire. You know what? In a minute, I will go into the game's code and write a little Control F feature so that I can more easily search cannon, cannonball. Did I miss campfire? Okay, campfire stones. Logs, bricks, stones, and planks. And also there were a couple log types. Oh man, I really need to implement a search here. Flowers, flowers. Flowers are probably going to be what's going to be most of this level. My finger's already getting tired from hitting F5 so many times. Lights, 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 lilies, log. Okay, that's actually really big. Log, that's a smaller one. And I can scale it down a little bit more. Like that. And rotate the face. Is there like a cooking pot model? I think there might be. That might be a fun thing to add. Anyway, let me save this. I will close the game. Preliminary flower field level. And let's see, if I were to go back into the game's code in let's just say F6. VKF6 var seek name is going to equal get string the default can be whatever. What's the how are these organized exactly? Environment objects. I want to say it's just env objects list, and that contains the names. Okay, yeah. Env objects list index editor model index, and that should that should get a string with the name of the currently selected model. F6. Alright, yeah, boat underscore small, that's the current one. And then we will loop through, starting from where we are and ending where we are if nothing is found, and jump to the next model with that name. For if you really want to be a little bit more efficient about this, not that it matters. Hello, LMR5. I guess I can make this font bigger, by the way. VKF6. The index that we're looking at is going to be the iterator plus the editor model index, which is the starting point. Mod, and so that we wrap around. Also, I'm gonna string lower this get string result just so that we are case insensitive. If env index, what is it? Is the function a string count? Yeah, okay, string count, and the first argument is the substring that we're looking for. String count. The substring being also I will have I start at 1 and I is less than or equal to n, just so that we start at the next index in the editor model list. The substring is going to be seek name. The target name is going to be env objects list, which we can also string lower to make it case insensitive. And if the result of this function is greater than 1, greater than 0, sorry. Editor model index equals index. All right, that should allow us to have F6 open up basically a control F, so that we can easily seek and find an object. For example, F6, flower, and we instantly jump to flower purple egg. Perfect. Okay. First, before I actually jump into level design, I would like to write on the UI 128 F6. F6 to search for an object, and then we can commit this change. And I'll call it a model just because an object makes it sound like a specific object that's instantiated in the world. And that might be confusing. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's run the game. And then we can start plopping flowers down and other decorations. Let's see, start the flower fields. I believe I also said something about like a cooking pot. No, that's a flower pot. Wrong one. How did I end up there? Guess there isn't one. Okay. Whatever, no big deal. Flowers. Flowers is the name of the game today. Let's start with trees. Let's outline some of the let's outline the level with some trees. So, tree blocks. That was the theme with some of the other levels. Tree blocks dark, tree blocks fall, tree cone. I think maybe I'll do cones for this one. Cone trees. Let's start plopping down some trees that we can go here. There's a couple. There's tree cone dark, tree cone fall, tree cone. Okay, there's a couple different types of trees. I believe all of the tree objects in this this nature set have a cone, have a normal coloration, a dark coloration, and a fall coloration. Mostly been using the normal and the dark. Okay. Let's draw a bit of a border. We're allowed to go a little bit outside the bounds of the map. It's no big deal. I think I will add trees until I've got about maybe 160, 180 total things. And then most of the rest is going to be rocks and flowers. Okay. We won't build up too much clutter around the front of the level so that the player can actually see into the level. Okay. Just a little bit on the sides there. And tree cone dark. These are actually on the smaller side. Let's see. I feel like some of the other trees were a little bigger. I might do a dumb hack to just like globally scale up these trees by 20% or so, just so that they're not quite as small. A lot of the I am pretty sure I remember a lot of the trees in some of the other levels being quite a bit bigger. If I were to save this, level 5, 202 total things, a little more than I intended, but we can work with it. And if I were to go back to like the woods or something. Oh no, these trees aren't that big either. All right, the trees okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to restart the game if I want the updated model to be there. Let's see. I'll put a few trees in the middle, but in the middle it's mostly gonna be like small rocks and flowers in this one. Tree cone. Like maybe there can be a tree there. That's a fall tree. I'll scatter a few fall trees in too. I think a bunch of the other levels have like a couple fall trees here and there just to make it look a little bit more colorful. And then like there can be a few scattered trees here and there. Like this. And flowers. So there's a bunch of flower designs. I think I might actually, is there a plant bush? That's the like leafy plant. Is there a tree small? No, that's not what I had in mind. Okay. Flowers it is. I will not be very, very discriminant about where I place these. There will be a lot of them. The total thing count is going to go quite high in this map, I think, because this is going to be a lot of small objects. As far as where the towers are allowed to be placed, I will allow towers to be placed on the small objects, but just not on the bigger ones like rocks and trees. And obviously the path. In the future, I will implement a separate solution for where towers can be placed that is not automatically generated by the shape of the stuff in the map. Because one, that's a little bit touchy, and it doesn't quite work the way I want it to because the size of some of these bounding boxes aren't quite what you would think by looking at them. At least as far as the computer automatically deducing that goes, and also because it takes a long time to load the way that I've got it right now. It takes a long time to load from the file. All right. This is actually a little bit more than I'd really planned. Let me thin this out a little bit. Because not only are there different colored flowers, there's also different shapes of purple flowers, which I want to use at least a few of. Long time ago, for a different project, I wrote a bit of code that basically created a brush that you could just paint on the world with, and it would like randomly assign one of several different models. So you could have like 3 different tree types, and the brush would automatically just plant random tree types of the chosen varieties. That was useful. The code itself was kind of gross because most of my code is kind of gross, but it got the job done. If that had occurred to me more than like 5 seconds ago, I might have implemented something like that in this level editor. I want to say there's like 3 shapes for each flower type. And there's like purple, red, and yellow flower types each. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's purple A, B, and C, there's red, there's yellow, and okay. Let's plant some of the C shapes. I think I'll go until there's about 370 of those total things in the world. Maybe about this many. Red. Let's add some red flowers in there, red and purple. We've got, maybe I'll go to 400 or so on these, 410. I'm thinking that by the time I finish planting flowers, there should be about maybe 600 or so total objects in the world. And obviously this will be optimized a bit by merging them all together when we're done. 420, 424. If I go to 440, 410 really wasn't that many. Red B. Let's go to maybe 460 or so. 20 of these flowers. 448. If I can make them a little bit closer together, that would be ideal. 464, 467, and all right, we'll call it there. Red Sea. These are the. This could represent, and I spent a lot of time talking about this in previous videos and/or streams. These really could be a couple different things. They could be a tulip. They could be a poppy, perhaps. Although poppies generally have black centers instead of white. They could be a rose, maybe. Actually, this one. I think that's the A design is more like a rose. But these abstract flower shapes could be a few different things. 505, 508, I'll leave it there. Yellow. Okay. Add some yellow flowers to the mix. And like I said, I'm looking at about 600 total. Let's see. I may add some more to the to this section here, which I kind of and also around here where I kind of have not really given much attention to. For whatever reason, let's see. 526. $543. $560. Yellow B can be. I don't have many in the back of this section or in the middle of this section. Let's put some more in the middle there. Up to 587, 588. There also aren't that many in the middle here. All right, that's there we go, 606. And lastly, yellow C. So this will have a little bit more than 600 total things, maybe more like 650, which is fine. I'm not going to be super stringent about a polygon count or anything like that, or object count, because again, most of these are small objects. Do not have too many polygons, unlike some of the trees and some of the bigger rock formations, which are a bit more expensive. Okay, let me just scatter in some purple and red flowers in the middle here. Purple C, purple B, just so that we don't have a weird like looming gap in a in the level design here. Red A, 680 should be plenty. Red B and red C. Okay, next, if I were to save this, and the frame rate is dropping, but again, the map will be optimized. Grasses, I was also looking for. Grass? Yeah, grasses, alright. Maybe not there, but I will have some here and there, some just basically plants without flowers attached, essentially. That's what this is. There's also grass lard, which is a larger cluster of grass, which may be more helpful to have because I won't need as many objects. When everything is fused together, the total polygon count will be the same, whether I used one of these or two of the smaller ones. Okay. There's a couple other things that I'm looking to add. Some of the smaller trees, I will put some of the smaller trees like down in front so that there's a bit of a barrier, but it's not a high one like these, and you can see over it. 739. $760. There's also, which I was looking at, grass leaves. Hang on. Did I forget about that? Okay, that is that one. Okay, no, I wasn't looking for that. The one that I'm looking for, plant, that's going to be plant bush detail. That's going to be these, which are slightly bigger plants. I'll have not too many of them. I'll have a couple here and there. Just to break up the relative flatness a little bit. Again, some plants, some big-ish plants without flowers, scattered around as you might expect in the great outdoors. Bush large. All right, that's another one. That's more or less what I was going for. Some of the other levels, I believe I had a cluster of grasses and stuff like around the entrance, but that's not really part of the level design as much as just the big rocks, and also the campfires and stuff, and the tents by the end. Why is this one named Bush Large? Because this one's larger. It's weird. And I'll just have a couple stones and rocks. Formation rock? Oh no, that is not what I'm looking for. No, thank you. How do I get rid of that? I need to mouse over the bounding box, which I don't know where it is. Help. I definitely don't want that there. I saw it momentarily for a couple frames, but I can't find it again. Wow. Alright, there we go. Let's delete that. Okay, not what I'm looking for. Is there no... Hang on, wait. I know that's not the only... Alright, I don't know why it wasn't finding these. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for rocks. Preferably a smaller one. Not small flat, just small A, small B, small C, that sort of thing. And also not too many. Just something like that. A couple stones here and there. All right, next there's the small trees. And I'm just going to put a few of them in the front row. Not really enough to obscure the view of the path. Just enough to make something, you know, there. Small dark, we'll also add a couple of those. Just so that there's no like awkward hole in the level design. And A few more will do it. Okay. This is, and I'm just going to save just in case something breaks when I fuse it together. That's that. There are 826 total things in here. That's kind of a lot. F3 to fuse everything together. Yes, please. 189,000 vertices. That is more or less what I'm going for. A couple of the other maps had something like 200,000 vertices, which is a little on the high side. This should be fine. Later on, I will add a little bit more to the maps in terms of like hills and stuff in the background, which will eat up a couple more vertices, but it shouldn't be that many. Okay. Yeah, let's save this. I am done with level 5. After 40 minutes of work on that one or so, and let's get out of there. One thing that I do want to do. Is I do want to get rid of the skybox, because the longer I look at that, I added that way back at the beginning of the game because I thought I was going to make use of it, but the longer I look at it, the less I like it. Is the Skybox code in here? The Skybox code is... Okay. SPR Skybox is this texture. I think this was the one that I used like in the Skybox tutorial. I'm going to just... Let's see, one edit image... we're going to cut this down to just a small cube, and we're also going to just completely fill it in with a solid, like, sky blue color. Can I just fill this whole thing? There we go. So that's our new skybox. There we go. Much less weirdly detailed compared to the rest of the world. If I were to run the game now, it wouldn't be nearly as noticeable. Somebody a while ago left a comment on one of the videos saying that it looked kind of weird, and that's definitely much better. And I believe I said something to the effect of, eventually I do want to replace it with something else, and I just never got around to doing that. Until really now. But this looks much better. There's vertex color objects in the world. There is just a flat color of the background. I could just, since this is just a plain color, I could just use draw clear to fill the screen to this color, without even bothering with drawing a skybox. But just in case I do want to add something else to it later, I'll leave it at this. Made the skybox not suck. It's not the most helpful commit message I've ever written. The graveyard. Okay, so I think now, and let me close my email client because that's annoying. I think now I will at least attempt what I suggested to myself a minute ago, and I'll lay out some of the paths before I really do the level design. So I'll do like the general shape of the track for the graveyard, the general shape of the track for the beach, the general shape of the track for the pirate cove, and see if that streamlines the process a bit. So if I were to go into edit mode and search for rock small flat, because that's the one that I've been using, pretty much all of the maps start in this corner and end elsewhere. For a graveyard, let's have a little bit of looping around, but no actual crossing over. Something like that. That's small flat A, small flat B. These ones are not quite as big. I will have more of them. Those orientations on the z-axis are supposed to be random, but those spawned with almost exactly the same rotation on the z-axis. All right, how many things do I have? I have 58 total things. I want to say the other map had about 80 total things once the track was laid down, which feels like a decent goal to hit. Small flat C. This is about the thickness of most of the other parts of track. I'm up to 100 now. The object counts have a tendency of like running away from me a little bit and getting higher than I really wanted to. Okay, that's gonna be that. Rock tall is gonna be the start of the path. Mostly tall A and tall B. Like this. That's actually completely obscuring the one in the back. We maybe don't need that there. Alright, that's the start of the path. The end of the path is down here. I'll throw around some campfires and tents and whatnot. I believe every map has 2, although the exact like arrangement of them is different. Scale that one up a little bit, and a campfire. This one can have bricks. Like that. Jello, it's been a while. That's not what I wanted. This is weird. Huh. There might be something wrong in the code. This isn't finding certain objects. Jello, what are you doing here? Isn't it like the middle of the night where you live? Are you, is your sleep schedule officially gone the way that mine has? Log, there we go. I guess if I need to search an exact name, log_large will bring me approximately to this, to this point in the list of objects. Shrink that a little bit. I'll let this one be a bit on the big side. It's 10 p.m., but considering that you sleep at 1:30, it's perfectly fine. Okay, that's a valid answer. Let's see. This is going to be level 6, or at least the beginning of it. Oh yes, that's right. I need to actually define the path nodes. I like tower defense, Jello. I don't know if that's clear or not based on what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna fill this in with some fun coffins later, but first, let's just why not make the skybox an image of a load of low poly clouds? That's one option. That's definitely one option. I also thought of like making a couple cloud 3D objects that just drift across the sky. And then they'll spawn in at random intervals, and it'll give you the impression of a little bit of movement. But that is one option. Having more cartoony clouds than realistic clouds. Okay, now let us send in, and they're going to more or less follow the track. Tower defense is fun when it's done well. It's like tower defense is like all I did in 2020. In terms of actually playing games. I don't have a problem, I swear. That's gonna be the shape of level 6. Let me get out of here. Let me do the shape of the beach. This one, this is something I've considered using Asset Forge for, so that I can, instead of just having a plain sheet, so that I can have something more similar to... Where is Asset Forge? Like, is that still in my downloads folder? It is. Okay, let me put that in the utilities. Like, I might use this to compose something resembling a coastline. So this might be a subject for another day. Or today, depending on how much time I have. Why do I still have this open? I don't need that open. Did Asset Forge, like, launch? Unity? Okay, so that's having a day. I don't know why that's not starting. That's not important right now anyway. Oh, there it goes. Now I'm gonna have like 3 of them. That took a long time to start. But yeah, this isn't important right now. What is important is... Let me start drawing. Alright, you know what? I can close at least one of these. Don't save. And maybe later I'll just leave that open for later. I'll give this one like a small loop, but otherwise it'll be more or less a straight shot from the beginning to the end. Like that or so. You need to upgrade your setup too. This computer isn't like slow, it's just this particular program for whatever reason just chose to take a very long time to start. I actually, the first time I clicked on it, I just sort of assumed that I missed the icon and clicked on something else. And then the second time I just was like, okay, Unity, what's going on? $34 total things. That's fewer than some of the previous levels had when it came to just the path rocks. I think the last level had a total of 100 path rocks, which is a bit much. Okay, next let's draw the nodes. One. Can I move that over a little bit? Or at least delete it and try again, because that wasn't really on the path. And there's this fun little loop. That should provide some interesting opportunities for building towers with different targeting affinities. What is this, level 7? This is going to be the beginning. Just need a few of these to make it look like a nice termite mound or something of that nature. At the end. And the campfire stuff. Why you're just camping on the beach, I have no idea, because I don't think that's a very secure type of terrain to anchor your tent to. But some people just like to live on the edge. Stones. Something to sit on. Boy, that's definitely on the bigger side. Okay, there we go. You've been playing Ark Knights pretty much daily for the past year. It's essentially a tower defense gacha game. I've been playing a embarrassing amounts of BTD6 in the past 13 months or so. It's this game has sort of become the games that I play when it's like 11:30 at night and I'm tired and I need to just do something that's not challenging for a while. And yeah, 700 hours later and completion on a majority of the achievements, although they keep adding more, which is probably not good for my my time management. Here we are. There have been a ton of others though. I've played I believe all the Kingdom Rush games that are on Steam, a couple Gemcraft ones, and a few others. That's not what that's not what I was supposed to do at all. There. I wanted to rotate that on the Z-axis, not on whatever axis that was. That was like the X-axis or something. It is, despite the growing presence of microtransaction mechanics in the Bloons Tower Defense games, it is a legitimately fun game. There are a lot of, I like to tell people, there's a lot of like tower synergies that you can put together, and it's not just like one tower dominates the entire game. There's a couple towers I'm not a fan of, but you can make the game work with most of the towers available in different ways, which is in my mind, a sign of a pretty decently balanced game. Obviously, late game, like hundreds of rounds into the game, it starts to fall apart a little bit, but let me just send some things in just to make sure that they do what I think they will. Within normal gameplay, it runs pretty well. That's good. I've seen enough. Next, the Pirate Cove level, which is also, I think, going to be something beach themed, although there is a pirate ship, particular model, pirate captain. Not interested in him, thank you. Pirate crew officer. Is there a ship? Ship. Oh my god, that's huge. Okay, wow. Hello, sir. That's not what I meant to do at all. Let me try that again. Shipwreck. Ship light, ship dark. Okay, you know what? That's huge. I can scale that down to something more like this. Was that the... The different Kenny models are... Some of them are different sizes. Some of them are of a larger size than the other by default when you download them. I did convert them to GameMaker Vertex buffers, and I thought I resized them appropriately when I did that. It appears that I did not. Okay. Allow me to introduce myself. I just accidentally spawned like a second one, like right on top of the first. That's you can tell a great and epic battle was fought here. All right. I don't mind having one that big. I don't think I want to have like 3 that big. All right. And then what's the wreckage look like? Come on, bounding box. Where is the bounding box for this thing? Bounding box for all of these items is like, there we go. No! Spawned another one. It's like 32 by 32, which is considerably larger than considerably smaller rather than some of these. Okay. That's more like it. That's more the size I'm looking for. Can I like sink that into the ground a little bit and like rotate it on that axis? There we go. And then later on I will create some sort of watery terrain, and it'll be like it's sunk into the water. All right, that's a shipwreck. All the maps start in this corner. I think we will maybe I'll have another pirate ship actually. Hang on, let me... In my mind, I'm picturing the track like snaking its way through a couple different shipwrecks, although is there just like a small boat? All right, that's not exactly what I'd consider small, but come on. Something more like this. Okay. That's gonna be their, I don't know, I suppose their lifeboat or something. Boat small, boat large. No, there are small boats, allegedly. Not these. And this one I will... What did I make it? Control? Oh, shift for rotate. Let me sort of upend this one a little bit. My condolences to whoever was in that thing when it ended up like that. Okay. Now we can go back to the path. All right. So designing this should be fun. With treasure chests and whatnot in the embedded in the sand and that sort of thing. But first things first, let's draw the track. I know I said I was going to do that before I did the actual level design, but I really did just want to get those things in because I wanted to like set the tone a little bit, and I wanted to see how it looked. Mostly that. This one's a little bit denser than the other levels. All right, that ought to do it. Let's next go and draw the path. Again, sort of snaking back and forth across the pirate wreckage. And define our start and our end. As well as whoever decided that like the middle of the pirate cove was like the safest place to set up their camp. Maybe it was the pirates. Maybe you are the pirates. Maybe this tends to belong to the pirates the whole time. You never know. I haven't put a ton of thought into the story. Story? What story? I guess because you would expect such a thing from a pirate area, from a pirate cove. We can have a little bit more around the campfire this time than in the other levels. Maybe they got shipwrecked and decided to make the best of it. Yeah, let's go with that. Jello just wrote the story. Isn't that just the plot of Madagascar? I don't know. I haven't seen Madagascar in years. I don't remember too much from it. Log, large. I believe there's like pirate barrels of beer or something in the list of 3D models that I might add, but I will concern myself with that later. Yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. All right, and then we'll leave it there for now. That is level 8. Send them in. I don't think I've said this officially in like the last half hour or so, Jello. The title of this game is Bombardier, as in the beetle, which shoots like ballistics at its prey. And the theme is that all the enemies in this game are bugs. Again, not the I didn't put the most thought into the lore of this here game, but that's the setting. Is there a treasure chest model? I'm pretty sure there is. TR. No, it's not under treasure. Maybe pirate? Pirate crew, pirate officer. Hang on. Let me try searching here. Okay, there is a treasure chest of some sort. I do not know what it is named. There's a high quality shipwreck. There's also a cannon. Cannons are cool. Everyone likes cannons. And can't quite tell what those are. Those might be bottles of rum or something. Is it under C, like chest? C, cannonball, cannon, canoe. Okay, it is chest. Okay. Anyway, if the gameplay is good enough, the plot tends to not matter as much. Or if the plot is like so ridiculous it's good, you get overcooked, and it becomes a sort of crosses over into a point of enjoyment. What was I doing? Rock, small, flat. Okay, we'll start here. Start in that corner. The desert's probably going to be a little bit of a sparse sort of setup, and I will change the color of the ground at a later date. I realize that green ground in sandy environments is a little odd. This is still in like the middle of the game, so I don't want them to be. I don't want these last couple levels to be too easy, but I also don't want them to be too like long and linear or anything like that. Maybe instead of like looping around, I can looping around itself rather. Oops, that's too close to the bottom. Maybe instead of looping around itself, I can have it sort of make a U shape. Or an omega shape, maybe a lowercase omega. Yeah. This actually might be fairly friendly because there's a path doesn't cross over itself, but there are a couple points where it goes near itself, which might be good for tower building. Although I can't always wall off sections of the path for building near with things like tree objects and that sort of thing. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. There are multiple ways to make a map difficult or easy. And when it comes to strategy games, definitely gonna see that other shape. What other? Jello. Now I'm gonna have to rethink this. All right, let's so that this doesn't look like a butt. Or at least it looks like less of a butt. If I flatten out the bottom a little bit. Oh, adolescents are definitely going to see some other shape. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, you've ruined my day. Okay, let's go past that. Can I move this closer into the corner? There we go. Crisis averted, sort of. I'm sure, and maybe when I dress it up with like cacti and dead plants and desert objects and stuff, it'll be less noticeable, but I don't know. This is why it's not a bad idea to have other sets of eyes on these things. It would probably be a hit in that case. You make a valid point. The internet does have a way of picking up things and running with them. For sometimes unintended reasons. Okay. Anyway. I guess this lends itself to the joke of like the desert buttes, like those tall skinny mesa things that you find in like Arizona. I said butte, not butt, or whatever the common joke is. I keep hitting F6 by accident and punching in something that I don't intend. And I don't know why it keeps ending up on the yellow flower when I do that. I should probably look at that code again. Yes, buttes, B-U-T-T-E-S. Who named these things and why? I don't know, but they were just asking for an eternity of innuendos. For all I know, this word probably originated in something that wasn't English, and it means something perfectly normal without any funny business on whatever that language is. But regardless, here we are. Welcome to the internet. Okay. I almost had Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's the American Southwest. Does it say where any of these actually are? I think most of it's like Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. Arizona, Montana. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time looking at pictures of buttes on this stream, so let's go back to level design. And Utah. Yeah, Utah is also the four cornerstone states, or whatever they're called. The states that sort of come together at a 90-degree angle. Apparently the word butte comes from a French word meaning knoll. Okay, thanks, France. I'll be sure to tell Gummy that the next time he starts going on about France. Just casually mention it. See what his opinion on that is. Okay, that's gonna be level, what are we up to, level 9? It's the general shape of this one. Alright. You know what, I have a terrible idea, and that is that I could put the curve back in the track and name the level like where is the level select layer? I could name the level select, instead of like the desert, I could name it something like the desert buttes. and see how many people notice. All right, don't tell anyone. We're just gonna put that slight dent back in the track. And did I not save? Did I not save that entire thing? Did I save it to somewhere else? I just forgot to save that entire thing. Anyway, this is gonna be okay. Fine, we'll do it again. All right. We're just gonna have to draw more butts in the sand. It's time to make more buttes. Jello gets it. Actually, I'm gonna space these out a little bit more because there are other types of stones. That's the spirit, Jello. Would it be more appropriate to like make one end like a little longer than the other? To give the like the exit side a nice shaft or something? Or would that be a little bit too on the nose? Let's not overthink this. Have we now got breasts? I don't know. Whatever is the most humorous in your mind can be the answer. I'm not gonna. For all I'm concerned, this is just a path for enemies to walk on when they come through the level. That's the right one. Okay. Yeah, we put down A and C for the rock types, and let me just. Alright, that's the path. The path nodes are next needed. Those are a little bit off the path. Let me try that again. That's better. And then why not build a system where you lay down the enemy path and then dynamically create rock models along that? That's one of the things that I thought of. I also thought of, like, instead of having to manually select one of 3 different, like, types of rock or tree or whatever, just grouping them together and selecting one randomly. But overall, I don't think that would actually save me that much time, because this doesn't take the most time to draw out the path and draw out the nodes on top of it. Oops. Anyway. Also, hello, John. Have we talked about Delta time yet today? Don't make me report the stream for offensive content. Oh, you just barely missed the part where we were talking about buttes and the etymology of by about 5 minutes. Boy, that was an interesting conversation. Alright, so if I actually remember to save this time... Did I accidentally, like, save it as something else? Oh, it's, I spelled it wrong, there's a space in there, who cares? This is a nicer shape anyway, let me, What's next? Okay, so these three I had in mind something more in the shape of like town settings. So the outskirts of town, the actual city, and then like the castle. So we're approaching the finale. These paths can be a little bit more linear. Maybe not linear, but without nearly as many nice and friendly bends and choke points and such. So there's just going to be like a big 90-degree angle. That's a little bit close to the bottom. And then the the next level I'm thinking would be a bit probably about the same, about as linear as this one, and then the last one would be just like a straight shot to defend the castle, or almost a straight shot anyway. Maybe not entirely a straight line from A to B. That would be a little bit boring. There is one like that in BTD6, which is a fairly interesting one to defend, actually. Maybe I shouldn't say boring. Just a little bit different from the rest of these. Okay. This one should not need too many nodes at all to cover it. It's a little bit of a curve. Not too much. And then either later in the stream or off screen before the next one, I'll probably throw together some like house designs in Asset Forge. Let's go with a different design for this one. Why do I keep doing that? Planks and logs look very similar. These collections of campfire materials. Okay, that's the outline for this one. Let's level 10 save that. I'll just run some enemies through it just so that we can see if it's working for whatever reason, and it looks like it is. Good. The city. Again, this is probably going to be similar. If I were to start with something like this, and maybe instead of going like this way in like a checkmark shape, maybe this track can be longer, but later on in the design of the level, I'll fill it in with more stuff so there are fewer spaces to build towers, and the challenge could come from there. That's an idea worth playing with, maybe. So maybe have something resembling city blocks. And that's a little close to the bottom. In the middle there'd be like a some kind of a construction so that you can't like build towers there. At least not in the way that you would like. I would totally do that now if not for the fact that I don't actually have any like construction house objects, and I don't want to slow the stream down right now by jumping into Asset Forge for an extended amount of time. All right, this is very regular. I feel like I should break this up and with a little bit more clutter. At least in places. So maybe you would expect that in a city-like environment. $117 total things already. I don't feel like it's been that many, although this is a longer track than some of the other ones, so maybe that makes sense. This is almost something resembling like an actual paved road. Just for the sake of variety, I'll let it be a little bit thinner over there. Okay. Boy, that's a lot of objects for considering that I only have the path laid out at this point. I should probably write myself a note to make this level very, very cluttered and busy before the next time I do level design, because I might forget. Alternatively, this could be like an easier level as a bit of a reprieve before the final one. Did I select it? No, I did not. She's spawning new ones. There we go. Okay. What are the other obligatory things? Campfire. You can go out in this in this space away from the other stuff, and the log. Okay, that is the general shape of number 11. It's just one more. The last one probably won't be that complicated. The last one will be dominated by like a castle structure, and it'll be a big old game of defend the castle. Okay. They're going. I do need to save if I don't want to run into the same problem that I had the last time. Okay. Last one. And this might be I won't make it a straight shot from the beginning to the end, but I will make it I will make it that general idea. Let's see, rock. I will make it maybe a little bit of a wave from beginning to end. I believe another one of the many tower defense games I played last year, Seabass's Duke of Defense, had a couple that looked like this. The levels in Duke of Defense tended to be fairly simple, not too much going on in them, and the that was much more on the RTS side of, or on the action side of tower defense, in that you also controlled a movable unit with a sword who could beat up the foes as they marched in. That was an interesting one. Took me a while to actually beat that one, because I am bad at action games. It's fun though. And this is just going to be probably about 80, 85 maybe. Orcs Must Die. Yeah, that was another one that was a little bit more on the action side, more so than the strategy side. Actually, you know what? Let me shorten this a little bit. There were a couple Orcs Must Die games, weren't there? I played one. Or maybe there was a full game and then there was like a free demo version or something like that. I forget exactly. I remember playing one of them. Three recently released. Okay, so they've kept making more. Interesting. If I were to search for that. Hello? Yeah, there's a couple of them. This one, oh, apparently I have two in my library also. Classic Steam library problems. Oh wow, this is a lot more. This is a lot fancier than the first one. Nice. That just came out too, July 23rd. Okay, let's see. I finished drawing the path. I need to mark the entrance and the exit. Shouldn't take more than a minute or so. I swear I just accidentally hit F3. Oh no, I accidentally hit F2. Okay. Went into path mode. Small top, small tall. Okay. There we are. Probably can afford to delete that one. They really amped things up. They really did. It wasn't a bad looking game. the one that I played. I think I will not put like rocks around the end, and I will instead like. Do I have a recent files thing? I was playing around with Asset Forge and made a castle that's vaguely shaped like this, which is more or less what I'm going for. I may add a little bit more to it, a turret or something later on, but I'm probably just gonna put that at the end instead of the other stuff for this one. So level 12, we'll come back there. Okay. Just in case I don't get another chance to do this. We'll commit that change. That includes 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. That's seven level outlines there. Okay. Let's see, it is now 3 p.m. I probably will be going for about a half hour more, or an hour more, maybe a half hour more if I really like start to get tired of talking. But looking at about an hour more. And let's see, the graveyard. All right, so first let's put some stuff in it. There is Altar Stone, which I believe that's the first one on the list. That's rather graveyard-like. What is that? What's that supposed to be? Altar Wood? Okay, that one looks better. That one's it's a little bit clearer what the wooden one is supposed to be, I think. What is... I can just cheat and look at what everything's named in the list of things. There are 342 items in here. That's a lot. Is it like gravestone? And also some like iron imposing fence pieces. Okay. What's lantern? Is that like a creepy lantern or a nice lantern? That is a creepy lantern. Okay. We can... We can have one of those on the altar. I'll probably come back to that. Lantern candle. Is there one without the candle? Lantern glass. Light post tall. Okay. That would sort of imply having spotlights or something, or cone lights, or at least point lights. Those light posts. I do not have any functionality for adding lights to a scene. Although I do sort of envision that this here graveyard would be one where there is less intense light. For example, nighttime, probably with a different skybox. But let's see. Iron fences. Okay, that's like this sort of shape. I don't know if I'll actually go with those, but I will definitely throw down a couple coffins. Coffin old. That's someone's already risen out of that one. Let's tilt that into the ground a little bit that way. And is there a column? That's maybe. I'll come back to that one too. For some reason, I thought there was like a stone sarcophagus coffin in this list, but I don't. I'm not seeing one. If we're going with the theme of pirates, then I don't know. Maybe they're visiting their fallen comrades in arms or whatever. What kind of... Okay, that is not so much a headstone as that is a like a plot for where the coffins were. Okay, that one's a headstone. Gravestone debris. I like the debris. Flat. There's a time and place for all of this, I think. Open. That's open? That's just like longer. I mean, it's not a bad design. It's just when it says open, I sort of expected it to be like the Dead Are Rising or whatever. Boy, these are nice. Okay. I like the variety in the like the gravestone themed areas. What's the picture on? Is there just a search bar on his website? Graveyard kit. What's the example scene look like? Okay, it's not quite as built up as the pirate one, but there's a lot. Pumpkins. I've already got pumpkins. There's already pumpkins in the nature set. There's a couple skeletons, ghouls, zombies, and so on and so forth. Alright, there's a couple cross designs too. That's sufficiently creepy. And alright, there's a lot to work with here. First, let's get some of the clutter out of the way. Let's sort of bunch these together. So there can be a bunch of headstones in one section, and then maybe one or two of these coffins in front of them. For example, maybe if I drop you there, this one can be a recent burial. There can be some of the newer looking headstones on this end, because if you're gonna set up camp, you probably don't want to put it by the older and the creepier ones or something. I just made that up in my head 10 seconds ago. Then again, I suppose you could make the argument that the broken down headstones, the dead have probably already risen from that one, and they will probably like these ones they have not, and maybe they will tonight while you're camping out here. I don't know. This makes less sense the more I talk about it. Good old Celtic Cross. Let's have that one facing inwards a little bit. And down on this end we can have a can have a little bit more by way of weird stuff going on. I can make this this one the centerpiece of some sort. I can scale this up a little bit. Now it looks like a traffic cone with a cross sticking out of it. I'm not sure if that's the intended effect. Anyway, we'll have that be the centerpiece, I suppose. And then we can have a couple other things scattered around it. There was did I say hanging moss as one of the things in this list? No, that must have been another one. And then there's a couple other creepy sort of things. Okay. Rubble. I'm not going to sort of... Oh, hanging moss must have been from one of the other ones. Maybe that was one of the nature ones or something. Round, flat, open. Again, that doesn't look open. Gravestone open? No. Decorative debris. Gonna have use for a couple pieces of debris. And maybe there can be like one or two broken ones down by this end. And around the altar. Cross large, cross broken. one's got a little bit of debris too, although slightly less of it. I'll move this. Let's move this debris over this way, so that you can still build a tower like in the middle there, and that won't be obstructed. Because I've got to think about where you would want to be able to build as well. Okay. I think that's all the space I want to occupy in the middle. Boy, this is really close to the bottom. Didn't realize that. Put a couple more out here. We can have some whole ones, some not broken ones as well. Decorative? Oh, that's that one. I feel like the coffin should be closer to the dug up grave. Okay, I think that might be enough rubble. Let me save this. Which level is this even? This is bad. I don't remember which level this is supposed to be. Gravesite. What did I call it? Cemetery. I'll rename it later. What are the creepiest looking trees? What is suggested here? This is like pine trees. Okay. Is this a bit of a multicolored, like Halloween-y decorative? Yeah. Pine crooked. Oh, crooked trees. Those are always fun. Nothing like it's not that crooked, Kenny. All right, these are also a little denser than some of the other tree models, so the periphery is going to be a little bit more filled than the periphery of some of the other levels. Definitely don't really want to put any of these in the middle because they are bigger and they will obscure your view, but maybe no, even that's a little big. Pines, regular non-crooked pines, I think those are actually bigger still than the crooked ones. And then there's, of course, all the lanterns, all the jack-o'-lanterns, that sort of thing. Pumpkins. I believe there's a couple like creepy sort of plant types in the graveyard set. No, let's not move that close. Ideas? Alright, there's like goblets and kitchenware. Like, there's a shovel. That's cool. Let me find the shovel. Shovel. Are there any other shovel types in here? Shovel dirt. Okay. It's probably, yeah, that's the next one. Okay, there can be one of those. Maybe someone's been doing a little bit of grave robbing recently, or maybe they're just trying to wake up one of their friends. Also a possibility. You can read however far into this you want. Or these guys are the grave robbers. You never know. I won't judge them. Let's see. Okay, that is big. That can afford to be scaled down a little bit. That's probably from the pirate set where everything is like inordinately huge. Let me just take that and like put it on the ground over here. You can interpret this however you dang well want. And this one I'll make like sticking out of the ground somewhere or sticking out of a rock or something. If I can get the cursor on the bounding box. There we go. If I rotate this up, that'll be this axis. Okay. That's scale. That's not rotation. All right. I know how I wrote this program. You'd think anyway. Let's see. This can go maybe there. And we can sink it just a little bit down into the ground. There we go. You are free to interpret that however you want. There's still the lanterns. There's a couple different types of lantern. With glass, there is a light post double, light post single. Again, I feel like this sort of implies that the presence of like a couple light types pointing downwards, which I don't know if I want to actually implement. So maybe we won't have one of that. You guys could use a lantern though. These whoever's doing their business out here. Let's see. Can I put this on top of this one here coffin? Like this? There we go. It doubles as a table for putting stuff on. Next, there is a couple more fun set pieces. I won't do anything with the fences, I don't think. I might do something with the wooden fence, probably not the iron fence. Those snap together a little bit. What are the little rocks? Pillars. Okay, so the pillars, the obelisk, and so on and so forth was from the graveyard. Oh yeah, that's that thing. Stone walls, stone columns, trunk, urns. Urns are always fun. I like urns. And of course, different types of pumpkins. Oh, there's a crypt. Okay. What's that gonna look like? That's gonna be this one. Okay. And just like general debris. General debris also works. I can scatter that around here. This one's kind of far in the truth. Let's move that back to the center. Debris wood, debris detailed bowl. Okay, so that's one of the things that you'd probably find over around here. Like that. Maybe also doing double duty as a dinner plate. Detailed chalice. Everyone's got to have something to drink out of. Detail plate. And if you want to be funny, you could put some like pumpkins and carrots and whatever like on the plate. This is turning out to be one of the more fun things to design. Digger, what's a... Oh, that's an actual like grave robber. I will not be having you because it'll look weird if you're not animated. And I do not feel like writing animation shaders today. Or ever. Although I probably will eventually. There. Can put that by the busted up coffins. Someone recently escaped. And also the regular debris. I did want to do a little bit more with the regular debris. Maybe put some around the base of this thing here. We are up to 278 total things. This is probably going to be one of the lighter levels. Corn, that's... Carrots, melons, pumpkins, turnips. Alright, so you can make dinner using some of the plates that you found lying around the graveyard. That's gonna be a turnip, and there's also, I believe, a carrot. Was there? No. I thought there was a carrot. Yeah, there's a carrot. Okay. I like carrots. First, we need to shrink you a bit. And then, maybe 2 carrots. Something like that. And then I'll put one on the altar too, just for fun. Maybe lie it a little bit flatter. Like that. All right, fun. The graveyard, where everyone goes to enjoy a nice, nutritious meal. Really though, pumpkins are next. There's a couple types of this. And we are, okay, we keep going to the same one. Keep seeking to the same one. You know what? I said I was going to do something with these obelisks. I don't know exactly what these are for, but everyone likes obelisks, right? There we go. They can be a little bit on the bigger side. Standing sentinel or whatever. Pillar small, pillar large. There's a couple more. I can stand to throw down a couple pillars. I don't know if I like that one. That doesn't really look like anything. Obelisk, small, square, pillar, square. Ah, okay, that's more like it. All right, pumpkin should be somewhere at the end of the P's. Pu, pot, pumpkin, pumpkin tall. Okay, let's have some pumpkins. That's tall. Carved is gonna be U. No, don't rotate that way. Rotate that way. That's got a jack-o'-lantern face built in, and all right. Let's orient the jack-o'-lantern so that the faces are facing the center of the map, or at least facing the camera. Maybe they had a pumpkin carving contest in between sessions of grave robbing. Can put you on top of the coffin as well. Maybe like that. Back a little. Back a little. Pumpkin carved, pumpkin tall carved. Okay, so there's a couple different types of pumpkin. Have an offering of jack-o'-lantern. I like the graveyard set. Kenny, I'll have to like tweet at him or something that I really like his graveyard set. And some generic pumpkins. This can be the ones that have yet to be carved. Okay. What else? There is still the matter of... That's most of it. The tree stumps. Tree stumps have a decent creepy scale. Creepiness factor. And then I will just put down some just generic grass and what have you around the edges. Tree stumps. Tree stumps. There is stump old tall, which is a slightly bigger tree stump. Okay. Those can go around the periphery. Maybe in the front a little bit too, since they're not as big. Okay. I take it Jello has chosen to go to sleep or something like that, because I haven't seen him in a hot minute, and I do believe it would be approximately midnight where he is right now. 12:30 or so. What's the there's one in this screenshot, there's one object that's like a cross on a table. What is that? Can I find that? Cross wood, cross column. Alright, well, we'll see what those look like. Column, wood. Okay, wood is Jello is still here. Probably head out soon though. Tanuki, it's 2 a.m. Is that also Jello, are you still in the UAE? United Arab Emirates? Where would this look like most foreboding? Oh, good enough. What was the other one? Now it's starting to get a little bit crowded, and if I put too much stuff down, it'll just look like I threw a lot of junk on the ground. Be moving to Scotland in 2 weeks. Cool. Exciting. For your master's degree. Doubly cool and exciting. Okay. Speaking of cool, I imagine it's a lot hotter in the UAE than in Scotland. That was not an intentional joke, I swear. What was that doing? Here. No, I don't like that either. I want to put this somewhere, but I don't know where. Maybe I can get rid of something else and put it in its place. This one too. I like the, I do like me a Celtic Cross. I think this one's my favorite, but the other ones work as well. Actually, you know, how about speaking of that, take the Celtic Cross, put it in the middle instead of this thing there. And no. Go there. Turn to the front and scale up a little bit. There we go. Okay. I like that. That works. The circle makes everything nicer. It's about 95 Fahrenheit there every day. 30 plus Celsius, whereas in Scotland it's closer to 60. Yeah, that's a bit of a difference. That's a bit of a temperature difference. What's it like in the winter around the UAE? Because that's pretty close to the equator. I don't imagine there's much by way of, like, a temperature drop in the winter. Alright, I think we're getting about down to the end of the amount of junk that I want to add. So let's save this so that I don't lose everything. And then just, like the purple flowers. Or maybe red flowers, because red looks like blood. I always thought like purple flowers were like the darkest and would be most fitting in a graveyard, but let's go with red. Red is a little bit louder, brighter, looks more like blood. Lucky if it goes down to 20 Celsius in the winter. Usually it stays around 25. Boy, that sounds nice. I know extreme heat isn't like... What am I doing? I know extreme heat isn't like anyone's favorite either, but I have never been one who really liked the cold. Maybe I can make these a little bit bigger. I can scale up the deathly red flowers or whatever. Okay, and no. There we go. Someone planted flowers in front of that one. That's nice. I seem to be favoring having these grow in bunches. I could always, since these are just vertex colored models, I could fairly easily just recolor these to make, like, other types of flowers, but I'll, at least for now, I'm gonna keep it simple. Maybe I'll like, go back to the flower field and add a little bit more variety there, we'll see. But I think, for here... Whoa, okay, why are you so big? Is that one of the graveyard models? That might be. No, that was just big for some reason. Okay. I don't know why. Is it from the Pirate Cove or something? I should really just leave this page open. Oh, that was part of the Pirate Cove set. Okay, I probably... Did I overwrite one? I think I might have overwritten one. Let me see if I can revert that. All right, you know what? Not important. I'll just go with some of these. In the back here. And also elsewhere. We're up to 365 total things, which is a bit getting up there, although it's not nearly the 700, 800 that some of the other maps had. This one's starting to get a little bit overgrown. One might notice. This side here is definitely the older part of the graveyard. Nature is doing a little bit better of a job reclaiming it. How long you on for? As I just got to do something and would like to catch up a bit live. Probably another half hour or so. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I'm gonna finish this one probably pretty quickly, and then I'd like to finish at least one more. There's probably gonna be at least one more level design live stream after this, because I'd like to finish the other ones as well, like this. But for today, probably at least another half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I'm not really liking the plants scattered around the back, but I do feel like it needs something. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I might come back to that. Okay. Alright. What else might I put back there? What else is in the nature kit plant-wise? It's hard. Mushrooms. I could do mushrooms. Mushrooms are, a sign of, like, decay and such. Would that look out of place? That looks a little bit out of place. Don't know if I want that. They're red like the flowers, but I don't know. Fungus. That's definitely a little on the weird side. Alright, I'll leave a couple there. Maybe not so close to the pumpkin. But okay, what else? Down here, it feels like it needs something. At least like a small plant or something. That's paths. Grass, maybe like just general grass. Grass large. Maybe that's a little bit better. That's a small plant. Slightly smaller than the leafy plants. Actually, you know what? I like that. Okay, let's use that. Let's make use of that. That can give a bit of a border to the large leafy plants, so that they're not just like all of a sudden there. All right, this is gonna start to make the object count tick up a little bit. Alright, that definitely softens the weirdness a little bit. Around a bunch of the maps, I've put I put grass around the border of the trees. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I like it at least. I think it softens the tree line a little bit. I'm not sure if that'll appeal to like everyone or even most people, but it will get the job done. Let's add some more red flowers in here. Now that I've given it a little bit more to look at. And also like here. Okay, I think that's good for now. Again, this is something that I'm going to let's see, quit to title. This is number 6, so this should be saved as level 6. Okay. Let me quickly rename that file. Level 6. So map_cemetery is now going to be level 6. How much stuff is in here now? This is 31 megabytes of level data. It's a decent amount. That might go down slightly when I fuse everything together, although I'm not entirely sure. The plain text JSON map files are probably going to be a bit bigger than compiled binary data. If I fuse this, if I go into editor mode and fuse this F3, this is going to go down from, this is going to change at least from 215 kilobytes. Oh, it's probably going to get a lot bigger. Okay. See, the fused vertex data is a lot bigger. That is 124,000 vertices, not bad. This was level 6. Okay. All right, we can work with that. So I'm going to exit out of this level. Let's quit the title. We can. I want to leave the beach and the pirate cove until like I have actual. I'm a little bit more familiar with Asset Forge and have made Asset Forge objects for like coastline and stuff. I suppose. Alright, yeah, I'll save that for another time. The buttes then. So this is going to be a desert level. The grass is green, don't mind that, that'll change. This is the butt level that we were working on earlier. Let's see, in terms of stuff to put in it, pretty sure there's cactus. Yeah, cactus short, cactus tall. We can put down a couple cacti. Probably, mostly cacti around the periphery. There might be a couple brownish trees, probably mostly cacti. All right. I'd like these to be bigger. I will selectively make a couple of them bigger. Once I finish placing these down. There's also a couple like cacti short, which what's that going to look like? Is that okay? That's just a smaller cactus. I was wondering if it was going to be like a barrel cactus or something. I like barrel cacti. I like a lot of cacti. They're interestingly shaped plants, and they do have nice flowers. I might stick some flowers in some of these cacti just for fun. I can make that bigger. I can also move you into the corner a little bit so you're not obscuring the view of some of the other ones maybe. Yeah, like I said, I will selectively make some of these bigger. Probably gonna have a lot of rocks. Might have a few small plants, and the occasional scraggly tree, as mentioned. And definitely a lot of rocks. How big can I make this? Okay, that's as big as I can make it. All right, that's the self-imposed limit of scale. I keep placing them down instead of selecting them. Batching models together? Yes, that is basically the last phase of level design. Once everything's laid out, I will fuse everything in the map together so that one, triangles that are facing like downwards or otherwise away from the camera don't have to be included, and two, so that we don't have a million total things which are sucking up computing time. You can see some of the previous ones I've worked on have a bunch of level data fused together in the form of just a vertex buffer. And they tend to perform a little better. I like the tall cacti better. They're a little bit more of an interesting shape. Let me add a few more of those instead of the short ones. These I guess these would be various sizes of like saguaro. The Wild West cactus. Tree blocks, I'm looking for, I think, tree plateau. Cone, default, detailed, fat, oak, palm short, pine, tall. There's a lot of pine trees. Plateau. All right, I'll have a couple of these. Not too many. And boy, the green ground is starting to stand out more and more. Maybe I should during this video write a little bit of code to determine the color of the ground. Because it's starting to stick out like a sore thumb. I'll also have a tree plateau fall, which is like, in this case, maybe not so much fall as totally dried out and has not survived the desert heat. Something like that. Okay, then there's always the matter of rocks and stones. Stones should be coming up in the alphabetical list. Oh no, did not? Oh, it would be the other way, before the T's. What about batching only nearby objects and then Frustrums calling them? The map isn't really big enough. What was I looking for? The map isn't really big enough to merit that, because most of the time the camera's either going to go from here, in which case you can see like half the level anyway, to like here, and probably in most cases, like most of the time when you're actually playing the game, you'll be somewhere around like between here, and a good 75% of the level is visible anyway, and I don't think there would really be a huge savings in creating a hierarchy so that you only render parts of the map. If this was like a big open area, then definitely you would probably want to put together like the start of the level, this side over here, and maybe like in the last one, one of the groups of tombstones or something. But here, like the levels are small enough and there's comparatively little stuff in it that I don't really think that the savings would be huge unless you're really playing this in something that's like 11 years old, hardware wise. That wasn't actually the rock I was looking for. We'll just put a couple pockets of these. I do want to do other like progressive let's make a game sort of things in the future, and there are definitely some other games that will have probably larger worlds and more stuff in it. And in cases like that, it would definitely possibly be very useful to, these are all the same, to do something like that, to organize the level into a hierarchy and only render the nearest chunks. Just probably not this one. Considered switching engines? Where's the fun in that? Do I want to have like a ton of junk like strewn all over this one, or do I want this one to be a little bit sparser? Leaning towards making this a little bit sparser. What's I have 3 Chrome windows open right now, which might be a little bit excessive. Are there any really nice looking desert sort of? There's like reedy grass. I believe that's, what was that called? Was that called like bamboo or something? Which is totally not something you'd find in a desert, but it looks visually like it would work. Looking good, thank you. There's a bunch of rocks. I think a lot of what we're gonna end up with today in here in this one is gonna be rocks. Stop doing that. Now I keep hitting F6 by accident and opening up that finder thing that I added at the beginning of the stream. Those look very similar to the other ones. All right, that one's a little smaller. That's different enough. Yeah, sparser is the way to go on this one. First, let me just fling a bunch of rocks at the screen and see where they land. I don't like this section here. This is like very regular, and it looks like I deliberately... All right, Jello's off. Thank you for dropping by, Jello. I haven't heard from you in a long time. I gotta catch up with you a bit. Bother you in the friend server, see if you're awake one of these days. The flat ones are these. The flat ones compose the path. I don't want to use those outside of... Ooh, that's interesting. That's a bit of a barrel shape. It's a little weird, though. Top. Those are the ones with... Okay, these could work. With that said, the gray rocks that don't have, like, grass growing on the top may be preferable for this. Because, I mean, desert. Boy. You know, maybe I should just pause, go back to the code, write a little bit of code to change the color of the ground so that it actually looks like sand, and then come back to it, because that might help. What is this, level 7, I think? Yeah, I think it was level 7. Oh no, was it? I don't think it was. I'm stupid, hang on, undo that. Let me map. This might be, I think this might be 9. Let's see, the color of the ground here is determined by, I believe, when you generate the square. Oh no, is it a... Sea white, so the vertex color is... Wait, is it a texture? Okay, it's a texture. That makes it slightly easier. If I were to instead of having this, which is like just green, SPR ground sand or something. Let's say that's a little bit dark. That's a little lighter. Let's give it this. Separate texture page. If I were to just substitute this in real quick. Okay, one, that doesn't look terrible even on like the regular maps. Okay, not terrible. It's just like green would be preferable, but it's not like amazingly bad. And when it comes to this, did I just... Oh wait, I saved it as a different name. This is going to be level 9. So if I were to rename Map Desert to level 9 and then do that again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's... I'll leave it like this for now. Later on, maybe not during this stream, I will write some code so that different levels can have a different ground coloration. But yeah, with this in mind, it does look a little bit on the super weird side to have the grassy rocks instead of the grayish stones. So let me get rid of all these. Let me replace them with the gray ones. Guess I could find and replace everything in the map JSON, like rock to stone, but that would grab these, and I don't want that. Anyway, we can, yeah, this is much better. We can create a couple piles of something like this. This will be probably most of the stuff. With a couple different varieties of stone, and then once I've got all the piles of rock in place, we can start playing with dotting a little bit of grass here and there, because deserts aren't completely dead, they're just very dry, and the plants tend to be very small so that they don't lose a lot of water. And or be cacti so that they don't have a lot of leaves to lose a lot of water through. Deserts tend to be rather dry, I say, as if that wasn't one of the criteria for, like, literally being one. I also might go back through some of the previous maps that I've made and add a little bit of extra decoration to the tent areas around the edge, around the end of the maps. I also liked the shape of the flat ones, didn't I? Yeah. Those are the stony equivalent to the path stones, the paving stones there, but I want to keep the design of those consistent. To like grab the player's attention, to grab the player's eye throughout the different maps. It's a bit much. There's also the top ones, which I remember liking, which have a couple stones stacked on top of each other, which were a little bit more visually interesting than just the individual ones. And also those could get away with standing on their own, so I might just use a few of them here and there. Like that. Oh, there's only A and B. There's okay. There's only a couple top stone designs here. That's fine. And the game is periodically starting to stutter. How many things? 264 things? How many things? This is the point where the aforementioned fusing everything together would help. Is that enough? Is that enough stone clutter? Maybe. There's a couple of these grasses, these reedy little grasses. Definitely can have a few of those. Probably won't be most of it. Maybe in the shadow of a tree or of a cactus or something like that. Cacti don't really cast a lot of shadow, but in the desert, plants tend to, well, life finds a way. As one Ian Malcolm might say. Certainly in the shadows of trees, of rocks, rather. Because those don't, like, grow or change or die or anything. What was the real reedy one? Bamboo Stage A, B? No, that wasn't it. Was it Corn Stage B? Or Corn Stage C or something? No, wasn't that. What is the... Oh, it was wheat, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. The thing that I called dead grass was wheat. Again, not entirely something you'd expect to find out here, but it does resemble dead grass, and the art style is not super realistic, so I can get away with having a bit of that. Maybe a little bit of living grass as well, but maybe not too much. That's a decent amount of dead grass. Tall dry grass. And I will put some like green grass, green wheat in the middle. It's probably about 70% of it's going to be this. And also flowers. I mentioned a couple flowers, especially just like sticking them out of cacti, because cacti flowers, as stated, are quite nice. Let's see, wheat stage A. This is the green grass. Okay. So we can have a little bit of... I mean, wheat is a grass. I'm allowed to call it that, right? Wheat is just a particularly nutritious kind of grass. And maybe around here a little bit. Is there like a water well or something? I do not see anything resembling a water well. There are a couple ruin types. That could be fun. Statue column, statue head, statue ring. Okay. I'll, what's that? Okay, that's that. That's fine. Maybe hide that in the corner. I will not make any ruin types super obvious. Just maybe, someone used to live here a very long time ago. But those days are long gone. In fact, statue column damaged, even better. Actually, I'll have one of both. Like that. What's head? That's okay. It's a little bit too on the nose, in more senses than one. In that it's I mean it's got one, all right. Very prominent nose. The ring I was interested in. Just gonna hide that in the back. Maybe hide another one in the back. Actually, I'll hide it off to the side, because when the game starts, you start basically here, and this is like right in the middle of the field of view. And I'd like to hide it a little bit better than that. Maybe back over here. In the middle of, like, maybe like there. Okay. Let's see. I will save this. This is level 9. It's level 9. And flowers. I think I'll go with yellow. Mostly maybe yellow and a little bit of red, a little bit of purple. How do I... If I were to like make this sort of spill out the side of the cactus like that, rotate it a little bit. We can do that. We can have a couple of those. That looks convincingly like a cactus flower, I think. Maybe put a couple out on this one. This is one of the bigger cacti. I can have one growing out of the top, perhaps, and one growing out of the side, like this. Would that look weird if it grows out of the side? That's how cacti do it, but that looks a little weird. I'll have it grow more out of the front. And keep hitting F6. About one more. About there or so. Okay. I'm not sure if that's oriented the way that I think it is, but it'll do. If I just maybe bury it in the stem a little bit. There we go. I did say I would have a one or two red or yellow ones. So rotations on 3 axes. Weird. Let's have you go that way. And most of you will be buried in the stem. Like so. Okay. Out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so there's cacti have flowers. Cacti can indeed have flowers. I'll put a couple of them like on the ground, maybe in the middle of the weedy flowers. Not too many. Like perhaps there. Maybe like one red one. Or one purple one or whatever. Okay. That is my desert. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else I want to add here. If anyone has some fun ideas as far as level design goes, let me know in the next like 4 minutes. There's I guess there are some things that are like patches of sand. I'm not entirely sure what those are. I'll just spend a minute looking through this to see if there's anything that's like I don't know, some like rough ground or something. It's not a huge deal. I mean, I guess I could always open up these models one by one until I find the one that I'm looking for, but that would be very tedious. Anyway, let's see. I think that's it. I'm going to fuse this all together. This probably is not going to be a very large map. If I were to save just in case anything goes wrong, level 9 and F3. That's going to be 110,000 vertices. Not bad. That's definitely indeed one of the smaller ones. Save this again. It's level 9, and it's gonna be it. All right. So when I send in the waves, we're going to be seeing monsters walking through like this, and They're gonna get to the end again. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the collision area where you can actually build stuff is a little bit messed up. We'll have to dedicate time to fixing that later. I'm probably going to change the way that collision is dealt with because I do not like the way it's done right now. But let's see. I'm gonna make this a commit. Levels 9 and level 6. Actually, first I will just say that nah, whatever. I don't care that much about separating it. Levels 9 and 6. This can get a 0.50 tag. 0.50. Push that to the origin. Guess I can also go on actual GitHub and create an actual release for that. 0.50. More levels. This is a pre-release. Okay, I'm also going to, just to make sure that I don't forget, high priority, I would say, or at least medium priority, is... Oh, you know what? I've already got this on the to-do list. Set the base color for the ground for each map. Okay, yeah, next week might turn into another, like, let's fix some issues that have been hanging over the game, such as terrain color and some other gameplay things. Maybe I'll oh, you know, I did this today. I'm not 100% sure if it works. Let me look at the code just a little bit. I don't see why this code shouldn't be working, but it's not. Anyway, I can live with it the way it is. I will move this over to the closed section. Next week might be a little bit more of the by way of bug fixing, the way that the last one was. Project maintenance, whatever I called it, and after that, I'll probably do another level design stream, try and finish off the last 5-ish levels that I have yet to make. Hopefully, I'll try to do a little bit of preparation, make some asset forge objects, and we can hit the ground running with that. And then we should be done with level design. Okay, so for whoever's still here, and beautiful Skunk Nami, if you did not get back in time for this, I apologize. It is now 4 o'clock, and I do want to stop talking and go get something to drink. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all found that interesting. We're getting down to the end. It's probably, I want to say this game should be finished by the end of the year, hopefully around November. And I will see you all later.